ultimately, strategy is about how do we gain and maintain control of our destiny. And so this crisis leads people to realize that maybe strategy is actually quite important. It's not something I do once in a while, but it's something I do on a continuous basis. And so that leads us then to think about how we can look at the relationship between, on the one hand, the dependencies that we have, and the other side, the ability to influence things. And clearly, many companies have gotten a situation where their dependencies are much higher than their capacity to influence, and they find themselves subordinated. By the time the cycle changes, you have to have new products to be able to take advantage of the new opportunities. And so that means you have been willing to invest in innovation during the hard times. But you can only do that, of course, if you free up resources. And that leads me to Mark Hurd, who is the current CEO of HP, who told me once, good companies can grow, and some good companies can cut costs. Great companies can do both. The companies that have been focusing on green businesses actually have to have developed a certain discipline, because it is not so easy to in fact bring a green perspective into your organization. There are certain costs associated with that. If you can do that, if you become disciplined and are able to, in a viable way, become green oriented, then you are probably also able to apply that same discipline in relationship to the problems that now are occurring. And so my prediction is that the companies who have been disciplined enough to bring green into their culture and into their strategy, that they in fact will have a better chance to come out of this hole. Well, you know, one of the lessons that have come out of this entire crisis is that we cannot really forecast. I'm always reminded of the famous Danish physicist, Nobel Prize winner, Niels Bohr, who once said, prediction is difficult, especially the future. So I don't think we can predict. The only thing that we can do is be very cognizant about what are the things that are already happening. Try to figure out which of those are scaling, becoming more important, and then be ready to either take advantage of that if it is something that's complementary to what you are doing, or to prepare yourself for having to deal with the potential threats that these new things might pose. And so that brings us back to the strategic mentality. The best way to, as people say sometimes, it's a cliche almost, the best way to prepare for the future is to make the future. And to some extent, strategists are not the ones who make lots of forecasts, but they are the ones who are able to recognize first where the forces are actually going, and then do something about that.